Welcome in here, folks, to Victoria, Texas, as the Victoria Generals take on the Brazos Valley Bombers tonight here at Riverside Stadium. Victoria's starting lineup tonight, you can see it on your screen. Top of the order will be the left fielder Kyle Gutveg, followed by the first baseman Thomas Jeffries. Center fielder Michael Williams will hit third. The right fielder Zack Howard will hit fourth. Second baseman Jake Miller will hit fifth. O'Neal Lockridge, the third baseman, will hit sixth. Dominic Cox, the designated hitter, will hit seventh. The catcher Brady Disher will hit eighth. And to round up the lineup will be the shortstop Yanel Ramos. On the mound tonight for your Victoria Generals will be Casey Calick to try and continue the win streak that the Generals currently have after sweeping Texarkana last night in a doubleheader. First pitch will begin here shortly in Victoria. The starting lineup tonight for the Brazos Valley Bombers. Cole Coker will lead things off for the Bombers, followed by Casey Danley. Next up will be Christian Sepulveda. And then hitting fourth will be Zach Iverson. Hitting fifth will be Robin Adamas. Hitting sixth will be Chase Kemp. Hitting seventh will be Brady Batten. Hitting eighth will be Cy Snediger, and hitting 10th will be Bennett Einoff. The pitcher tonight for Brazos Valley will be Trey Morris. So first pitch is on the way here in Riverside Stadium. Once again, that is Casey Calick on the mound for your Victoria Generals. Cole Coker, the first batter up here for the Bombers, as the first pitch from Calick is going to be in there for strike one. So a quick 0-1 count here to Cole Coker. Second pitch on the way is going to be fouled off to the left side to move to 0-2 in the count. Cole Coker hitting .360 on the season for the Brazos Valley Bombers. 0-2 count here to Coker. Pitch is on the way from Calick. An off-speed pitch is going to be swung on and missed. Disher is going to throw it over to first for the first out of the inning. So the first strikeout of the game for Casey Calick on Cole Coker. And next up for the Bombers will be Casey Danley. First pitch on the way from Calick is going to be in there, and it's going to hit Danley right in the back. And just like that, the Bombers with a runner on first base here and one out in the top of the first. So that one got away there from starting pitcher Casey Calick, and the Bombers with a runner on first. Next batter up here for the Bombers will be Christian Sepulveda with a runner on first base. Calick looks over to first at the runner. Pitch on the way is going to be in there for strike one. So as I mentioned, the Generals sweeping the Texarkana Twins last night in a doubleheader, looking to continue the win streak. Second pitch on the way is going to be fouled back into the netting, and Casey Calick quickly up 0-2 on Christian Sepulveda. Runner on first base for the Bombers after the hit batter. .02 count. Pitch is on the way. The runner's taken off to second, but Disher is not going to throw down there. So a ball is thrown by Calick, and the runner moves to second. And the Bombers looking to stay aggressive on the bases to try and get some runs here early in the game. So a 1-2 count to Christian Sepulveda. Pitch is on the way from Calick. That one's going to be hit over to the left side towards Lockridge at third, but it's going to be fouled off. Once again, this is a battle of first and second place in the TCL as the Bombers hold first place, but not by that many games. One-two pitch on the way from Calick. That one's going to be swung on and missed for the second strikeout of the game for Casey Calick. So Christian Sepulveda goes down swinging. And the next batter up for the Bombers will be Zach Iverson. So a runner on second base here for the Bombers as Zach Iverson, who's hitting .259 on the season, steps up. First pitch on the way to Iverson is going to be in there for strike one. So pretty clean game so far by Casey Calick other than the hit batter. Already 2 strikeouts. As the second pitch on the way from Calick, that one's going to be swung on and missed. And the count quickly moves to 0-2. So Zach Iverson, hometown Charlotte, North Carolina, looking to get more runners on the bases here for the Bombers. Quickly down 0-2 to Casey Calick. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be in there high and away for ball one. So a 1-2 count to Iverson. Pitch on the way from Calick. That one's going to be swung on and missed, and that's another strikeout here in the top of the first for Casey Calick. So no runs in the top half of the first inning, and we head to the bottom half. Generals and Bombers knotted up at 0. Back here in Victoria, no runs in the bottom half of the first inning, and we're all knotted up at 0. Your starting lineup tonight for the Victoria Generals: Kyle Gutveg is going to lead things off in the 1 spot, followed by the first baseman Thomas Jeffries, and rounding out will be the center fielder Michael Williams. So Kyle Gutveg, the first batter up here against Bombers pitcher Trey Morris. The last time the Bombers and the Generals played was a 4-game series, and the Generals took 3 of 4 from the Bombers. 2 at Brazos Valley, 1 here in Victoria. And the first batter up, Kyle Gutveg, steps in. So Trey Morris, the pitcher for the Bombers, digging his cleats into the dirt as Kyle Gutvig looks to start things off strong here for the Generals. First pitch on the way to Gutvig is going to be outside for ball one. So Kyle Gutvig hitting .237 on the season for Victoria, as the second pitch is going to be out and away for ball two. So a 2-0 count here to Gutvig. That one's going to be out and away for ball three. And Kyle Gutvig using patience here. And quickly up 3-0 on Trey Morris. .30 pitch on the way to Gutvig is going to be in there for strike one. So 3-1 pitch on the way. Gutvig's going to swing at that one. It's going to go up the middle to the shortstop. The scoop and throw over. And Gutvig is going to beat it out for a single. So Kyle Gutvig with a single to start the bottom half of the first. And the next batter up here for Victoria will be the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries. So after Gutvig gets on with a single, Thomas Jeffries steps in here. First pitch on the way. It's going to be outside for ball one. Thomas Jeffries with a home run last night in that doubleheader against Texarkana. Absolutely on fire for the Generals. Second pitch on the way to Jeffries is going to be outside for ball two. Trey Morris struggling to find the strike zone here early in the game. Runner on first for Thomas Jeffries. Pitch on the way from Morris. That one's going to be in there, and it's just going to miss for ball three. So Thomas Jeffries quickly ahead 3-0 in the count here to Trey Morris. Michael Williams, the center fielder, on deck. And Zack Howard is in the hole. 3-0 pitch on the way to Jeffries. That one's going to be in there for strike one. Thomas Jeffries hitting .360 on the season for the Generals. And as I mentioned, had a home run last night in that doubleheader against Texarkana as Trey Morris throws over to first to try and pick off Gutvig. So a 3-1 count here to Jeffries. Pitch on the way from Morris. Jeffries is swinging at that one. Fouling it back into the bleachers, and the count quickly goes full. So a full 3-2 count here to the first baseman with a runner on first, no outs. Pitch is on the way. Gutvig is taken off, but Jeffries is going to foul that one back. So Gutvig with speed on first base. Probably would have had a stolen base there if Jeffries would not have fouled that ball back. But instead we still sit at a 3-2 count. Three-two pitch on the way. There goes Gutvig again, but once again Jeffries fouls that one off to the left side. Once again, Thomas Jeffries hitting .360 on the season for the Victoria Generals. Three-two pitch on the way. Jeffries is going to foul that one off the catcher's mask and staying alive. Thomas Jeffries out of Texas A&M Corpus Christi University. Good at bat here by the first baseman. Jeffries is going to call time here real quick. So a full 3-2 count with Kyle Gutvig on first. Pitch is on the way to Jeffries. Gutvig's going, and that's going to be a walk for Thomas Jeffries. And runners now on first and second here for the Victoria Generals. So the next batter up here for the Generals will be center fielder Michael Williams. So runners on first and second for Michael Williams. No outs here in the bottom half of the first. Throw back to second as Morris tries to pick off Gutvig at second base. Trying to keep the speedy Gutvig put. Michael Williams hitting .405 on the season for the Victoria Generals. First pitch on the way to Williams. Williams is looking to bunt, but just pulls back, and that one's going to be in there for ball one. Michael Williams out of Paris Junior College. Runners on first and second here, looking to score a couple runs for the Generals to start off the game. Zack Howard is on deck. Pitch on the way to Williams. It's going to be in there for strike one to even the count at 1-1. So an even 1-1 count here to the center fielder Williams. Morris looks over to second. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be high and away for ball two. Bombers pitcher Trey Morris struggling to find the strike zone. And we're going to have an early mound visit here in the bottom half of the first, trying to calm down the starting pitcher Trey Morris. So we're going to take a quick break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. So after the quick mound visit, Trey Morris down 2-1 in the count here to General center fielder Michael Williams. Pitch on the way to Williams. It's going to be just away for ball three. Generals being very aggressive, very passive tonight with the bats. 3-0 count has been seen to every batter so far. Pitch on the way from Morris is going to be in there for strike 2, and the count goes full 3-2. Generals with runners on first and second. Nobody out. Zack Howard on deck, Jake Miller in the hole. 3-2 pitch on the way to Williams. Williams is going to swing at that one, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. So Michael Williams goes down swinging, and the next batter up will be the right fielder, Zack Howard, with runners on first and second base. So the power hitter, Howard, steps in, calls a quick time. Runners on first and second, 1 out, after Michael Williams goes down swinging. First pitch on the way to Howard is going to be in there for strike 1. Zack Howard hitting .365 on the season for the Generals. Second pitch on the way to Howard is going to be swung on and fouled off to the left side. Zack Howard from Embry-Riddle University. Just one of a couple players from Florida here on the Generals roster. Pitch is on the way, and that one's going to be in there for strike 3. And Zack Howard is going to go down looking. And just like that, there will be 2 outs. Next batter up here for the Generals will be Jake Miller. So runners still on first and second here for the Generals with 2 outs in the inning. First pitch on the way to Miller is going to miss for ball 1. Jake Miller hitting .213 on the year for the Generals. 1-0 pitch on the way from Morris. That one's going to miss away for ball 2. Jake Miller out of Blinn Junior College. Looking to score a couple runs here after the Generals with runners on first and second with no outs in the inning. Quickly 2 strikeouts later. There's 2 outs. 2-0 pitch on the way to Miller. That one's going to miss. And Jake Miller quickly up 3-0 here on Trey Morris. O'Neal Lockridge on deck. Dominic Cox in the hole. .3-0 pitch on the way to Miller. It's going to be in there for strike 1. So a 3-1 count here to Miller. Pitch on the way from Morris is going to be swung on by Miller, and it's going to get past the third baseman. And rounding home is Kyle Gutvagen. Just like that, the Generals will take a 1-0 lead here on the Bombers. So an RBI single there by Jake Miller. And O'Neal Lockridge will be the next batter up. So after Jake Miller hits an RBI single here to start the first inning, O'Neal Lockridge, the batter up for Victoria. First pitch on the way to Lockridge is going to be swung on and missed for strike one. O'Neal Lockridge hitting .212 on the year for Victoria. Oh, 0-1 count to Lockridge. Runners on first and second. Second pitch on the way to Lockridge is going to be in there for strike two. O'Neal Lockridge plays ball at the University of Louisiana Lafayette. Had a couple hits last night against Texarkana, as Morris quickly calls a timeout to get settled on the mound. So 0-2 count here to Lockridge. Pitch is going to be on the way. There goes Jeffries to third, and Thomas Jeffries has a stolen bag. So Jeffries steals the third. Now runners on the corner here with 2 outs in the inning. So a base hit here by Lockridge would score another run here in the bottom of the first. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. That one's going to hit Lockridge right in the shoulder blade. And just like that, the bases will be loaded here for Victoria. So O'Neal Lockridge is hit with the pitch. And the next batter up will be the designated hitter, Dominic Cox. Bases will be loaded here for Cox. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Cox the batter with the bases loaded. First pitch to Cox is going to be in there for strike one. Trey Morris trying to limit the damage here as he has the bases loaded on him, but with 2 outs in the inning. Oh, 0-1 pitch on the way to Cox. That one's going to be swung on and missed. And the count quickly moves to 0-2. Dominic Cox plays his ball at Rice University. Looking to have a huge hit here for the Generals. Pitch on the way from Morris to Cox is going to be swung on. Popped up to the left side. Running over for it is going to be the left fielder. But the Generals score a run here in the bottom of the first inning on the Jake Miller RBI single. And the Generals lead 1-0 as we headed the second inning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the second inning. Generals lead the Bombers 1-0 after Jake Miller hits an RBI single. The Generals rolling with a run. Casey Kallick tonight already with 3 strikeouts in the game. And leading off here for the Bombers will be Robin Adames. First pitch on the way from Kallick. That one's going to be swung on and missed by Adames. And he quickly falls behind 0-1. Robin Adames hitting .309 on the year for the Bombers. Second pitch on the way is going to be in there for strike 2. Casey Kallick dealing right now. And quickly has Adames down 0-2. 0-2 pitch on the way is going to be swung up the middle to the second baseman and flung over to first for a routine play for the first out of the inning. Chase Kemp, the next batter up here for the Bombers after Jake Miller scoops the ball and throws it over to first. First pitch on the way to Kemp is going to be outside for ball 1. Chase Kemp hitting .205 on the year for the Brazos Valley Bombers as the 1-0 pitch is going to be just away for ball 2. So your infield, Thomas Jeffries at first, Miller at second, Ramos at short, Lockridge at third. As the third pitch is going to be in there for ball 3. Left field, Kyle Gutveg. Center field, Michael Williams. Right field, Zack Howard. 3-0 count on the way. That one's going to miss away, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk here for Chase Kemp. So Chase Kemp walks on a 4-pitch at bat. And the next batter up for the Bombers will be Brady Batten with a runner on first base and only 1 out in the inning. Brady Batten hitting .267 on the year for the Bombers. First pitch on the way from Kallick. It is going to be swung on and missed for strike 1. Already 3 strikeouts tonight for Casey Kallick. As the 0-1 pitch is going to be outside, evening the count to 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to Batten. That one's going to be swung over into the gap between first and second. And just like that, the Bombers are cooking here to start the top half of the second. So Brady Batten hits a single into the gap, and now with runners on first and second, the batter up will be Cy Snedeker. First pitch on the way to Snedeker is going to be swung on. It's going to go up the middle, and around third goes the... No, excuse me, he's going to be held at third. And just like that, the Bombers with the bases loaded and only 1 out here in the second inning. So Cy Snedeker hits the single to load the bases, and the next batter up here will be Bennett Einoff. Trying to get the Bombers on the board here in the top half of the second inning. First pitch on the way to Einoff is going to go past the catcher, Brady Disher, and just like that, the the Bombers have tied the game up 1-1 on the bad pitch by Casey Kallick. The runners advanced to second and third as Disher could not get a hold of the pitch. And we're all knotted up at 1 here, top of the second. So 1-0 pitch on the way to Kallick is going to be swung over to Ramos. He cannot get the ball and throw it over to first. And just like that, the Bombers take the lead. And only 1 out here in the top of the second. So the ball goes off the side of the glove of the shortstop Ramos. And the Bombers take a 2-1 lead. Cole Coker back to the top of the order here for the Bombers. Coker struck out his first at bat. Runners on first and second. First pitch on the way to Coker is going to be swung on and fouled back for strike 1. So with the bases loaded, the Bombers get a run on the bad pitch and on the Ramos error. The game now sits at 2-1 Bombers. 0-1 pitch. That one's going to be swung into the gap, but Miller's going to get there. Throw over to Jeffries, and they're going to get Coker out at first. What a nice scoop there by the second baseman, Jake Miller. And just like that, 2 outs here in the top of the second. The runners advance to second and third. And the next batter up for the Bombers will be Casey Danley. First pitch on the way to Danley is going to be outside, and Disher cannot get a hold of that one. And the Bombers are going to stroll home another run here in the top of the second on a bad pitch. So the ball gets past Disher, and the Bombers take a 3-1 lead. 1-0 pitch on the way is going to be outside, and the count quickly moves to 2-0. Christian Sepulveda on deck, Zack Iverson in the hole, as that one is going to be fouled off to the right side by Casey Danley. So the Bombers with 3 runs here in the top of the second, 2 of them coming off of wild pitches. 2-1 pitch on the way. It's going to be in there for strike 2. And the count quickly evens at 2s. So a 2-2 count to Casey Danley. That one's going to be swung up the middle as Jake Miller throws it over to first to Jeffries for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Bombers score 3 runs in the top half of the second to take a 3-1 lead on the Generals. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, the Bombers take a 3-1 lead heading into the bottom half of the second inning. Your next three batters up here for your Victoria Generals will be Brady Disher, followed by Yanel Ramos, and then back to the top of the order with Kyle Gutvig. Batter up now for the Generals will be the catcher Brady Disher. So a 3-1 lead here for Brazos Valley as the catcher Brady Disher steps up to the plate. First pitch on the way to Disher. It's going to be outside for ball one. Brady Disher playing his college ball at Arkansas University. Pitch on the way to Disher. That one's going to be swung on and missed to even the count at 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to the catcher Disher. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be in there for strike two. So a 1-2 count here to Disher. Pitch on the way from Morris. And an off-speed pitch is going to be in there for strike three. And Brady Disher is going to go down looking. So Trey Morris strikes out Brady Disher. And the next batter up here for Victoria will be Yanel Ramos. So the shortstop Ramos here steps up to the plate with one out. First pitch on the way to Ramos is going to be in there for strike one. Bombers pitcher Trey Morris getting into his groove, finding that strike zone. 0-1 pitch on the way to Ramos. That's going to be a huge swing and a miss. And Yanel Ramos quickly down 0-2. So 0-2 pitch on the way from Morris. And that one is going to be check swung by Ramos, but they're going to say he did not go. And the count moves to 1-2. So a 1-2 count here to Yanel Ramos. Pitch on the way from Morris is going to miss outside for ball two. Yanel Ramos playing his college ball at Weatherford College. Looking to get on the bags here for the Generals. 2-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be in there for strike three. Fans do not like the call. Ramos certainly didn't like it either. But just like that, there'll be two outs here in the bottom of the second. So we go back to the top of the order for the Generals as Kyle Gutvig steps up to bat. So two outs here for Kyle Gutvig. First pitch on the way. He's going to miss away for ball one. Kyle Gutvig already with a hit tonight and also scoring a run on the Jake Miller RBI. Second pitch on the way. That one's going to bounce away for ball two. Kyle Gutvig playing his ball at Embry-Riddle University. Two-0 pitch on the way. And that one's going to be in there for strike one. 4 strikeouts tonight for Bombers pitcher Trey Morris. As the 2-1 pitch to Gutvig is going to miss away for ball three. So Kyle Gutvig looking to spark something here for Victoria as they trail 3-1 here to Brazos Valley. 3-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to miss away for ball 4, and Kyle Gutveg draws the walk. So the next batter up here for Victoria will be the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries. Jeffries walked his first at bat. Gutveg on first. His first pitch on the way to Jeffries, a huge swing and a miss for the first baseman. Thomas Jeffries hitting .360 on the season for Victoria. As the speedster Gutveg is on first. Gutveg's going to take off to second base. The throw down, but Gutveg is going to be in there easily for a stolen bag. So probably one of the fastest runners on this Generals team. Steals a bag with ease. And a 1-1 count here to Thomas Jeffries. Pitch on the way from Morris, and the off-speed pitch is going to be hit over to the left side. And the count will move to 1-2. Big night last night for Thomas Jeffries against Texarkana, including a home run, which added more runs in that huge victory for the Generals. Kyle Gutveg on second base. Thomas Jeffries the batter. Pitch on the way. There goes Gutveg to third. And there's not even going to be a throw down as Gutveg speeds over to third base. So a base hit here would be huge for Victoria if they want to dig into this lead that the Bombers have built. Count sits at 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way to Jeffries. That one's going to be popped up to the left side. Over goes the third baseman, but it's just going to clear that fence. That looked like a Damas for the Bombers that could not get there. And Jeffries staying alive once again, as he did in his first at-bat. Center fielder Michael Williams on deck. Right fielder Zack Howard in the hole. 2-2 count here to Jeffries, and he's going to hit that one into left, but it's going to go foul. And Jeffries continues to not make it easy for starting pitcher Trey Morris. 2-2 count. Morris steps off for a quick time. 2-2 count here to Jeffries. Pitch on the way from Morris is going to be fouled back. And Thomas Jeffries not making it easy at all for Morris here, running up that pitch count. "56 pitches on the night for Trey Morris. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks for the Bombers pitcher. 2-2 count here to Jeffries. Jeffries is going to pop that one over to the second baseman. A close play. He's not going to get the throw. And an RBI single for Thomas Jeffries. And just like that, the Generals add a run here to make it 3-2 Bombers. So Thomas Jeffries continues his hot streak for Victoria with the RBI single. And the next batter up here for Victoria will be the center fielder Michael Williams. So after the RBI single by Jeffries, Williams sees the first pitch from Morris, and a swing on it, a miss, and a huge hit there by Michael Williams as it gets past the first baseman. Jeffries is going to be sent around third. It's going to be a close play at the plate, and Jeffries is going to slide in safe. And just like that, Victoria has tied the game after the Michael Williams triple. So a first pitch swing by Michael Williams sends the ball past the first baseman into right field. Thomas Jeffries scoots around the bag for the third run of the game to tie the game. Michael Williams is on third with an RBI triple. So the next batter up here for the Generals will be the right fielder, Zack Howard. So after the RBI triple by Michael Williams, the first pitch is going to be fouled off by Howard. So just like that, we go quickly from a 3-1 game to a tied 3-3 game. Oh, 0-1 pitch on the way. That huge swing there by Zack Howard. The count quickly moves to 0-2. So Zack Howard with a strikeout already tonight for the Generals. He has Michael Williams on third, looking to take the lead. Pitch on the way is going to be inside, and it's going to hit Howard on the wrist. So Zack Howard is going to go down to first after being hit with the ball. And now with runners on the corners, the next batter up here will be Jake Miller. Miller already with an RBI single tonight for Victoria. So first pitch to Miller is going to be hit over to the left side to the third baseman. Close play at first, but Miller will not get there, and that will be the third out of the inning. But Victoria ties the game up here in the bottom of the second, and we're all knotted up at threes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we're all knotted up at 3 after the Generals score 2 runs in the bottom of the second to tie the game up at 3. First batter up here for the Bombers will be Christian Sepulveda. So first pitch on the way from Calic is going to be fouled back into the netting for strike 1. Sepulveda already with a strikeout tonight. Casey Callick, the starting pitcher for the Generals, with 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, and a walk. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that one's going to be in there for strike 2. And Christian Sepulveda quickly falls behind 0-2 in the count. Casey Callick looking for the early strikeout here in the inning. As the pitch is on the way to Sepulveda, that one's going to be swung on and missed, and Christian Sepulveda will go down swinging for the first out of the inning. So Christian Sepulveda goes down swinging, and the next batter up here for the Bombers will be Zack Iverson. First pitch on the way from Callick. It's going to be in there for strike 1. So an 0-1 count here to Iverson. Robin Adames on deck as the pitch to Iverson is going to hit the dirt for ball 1. One pitch on the way to Iverson, and that one's going to be in there for strike 2. And Casey Callick quickly up 1-2. Iverson struck out his first at bat. Pitch is on the way, and off-speed pitch is just going to miss to even the count up at 2-2. So a 2-2 count here as the pitch on the way from Callick is going to be swung on and missed by Iverson. And that's going to be another strikeout for starting pitcher Casey Callick. The 5th strikeout of the night for Casey Callick. And the batter up now for the Bombers is Robin Adames. As the first pitch on the way is going to be outside for ball 1. So the power hitter Robin Adames sees a 1-0 count. That one's going to be in there to even the count at 1-1. Adames hit the grand slam already earlier in the season that defeated the Generals. As he sees a 1-1 pitch from Callick, an off-speed pitch is going to be in there for strike 2. And Casey Callick dealing here in the top half of the 3rd. 1-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled back. And the count's going to quickly move to 1-2 once again. .305 is the batting average for Adames, as he's going to swing and miss at that one. So 3 batters, 3 strikeouts for Casey Callick. And just like that, we headed the bottom half of the 3rd. Still knotted up at 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. back here in Victoria as we're all knotted up at 3 as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. First batter up here for the Generals will be O'Neal Lockridge. So the third baseman Lockridge here looking to get things started for Victoria, as the first pitch is going to be in there, bouncing in the dirt for ball 1. So Lockridge was hit by a pitch his first at bat, as he sees a 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be flung over past the third baseman, scooped by the shortstop, and it's going to be a missed scoop there by the first baseman, and Lockridge is going to get down to second with a double. So a nice scoop there by the shortstop for the Bomber, Sepulveda, but the throw was way long for the first baseman's reach. And on the error, O'Neal Lockridge is going to get down to second with a double. Next up here for Victoria will be the designated hitter, Dominic Cox. So O'Neal Lockridge sits on second after the double, as Morris looks down Lockridge at second. So it looks like Lockridge was trying to possibly steal this bag. First pitch on the way to Cox. It's going to be a throw back over to second, and Morris almost throwing that one into center field. Nice catch there by the shortstop Sepulveda. So the first pitch on the way from Morris to Cox is going to be fouled off to the right side for strike 1. So O'Neal Lockridge sits on second here. The designated hitter, Dominic Cox, up to bat. 0-1 count to Cox. Pitch on the way. Cox is looking to bunt, and that one is going to be foul tipped back into the glove of the catcher for strike 2. So kind of an awkward bunt there by Cox. It kind of nicked the top of his bat, and it foul tips back into the catcher's glove, and Dominic Cox quickly down 0-2. Brady Disher on deck. 0-2 from Morris, and that one's going to be sent into center field. And Cox with the single. O'Neal Lockridge going home, a play at the plate, and he's going to be called out at the plate. And a very close play. But O'Neal Lockridge could not get the slide down. And an out here, as the Generals fans do not like the call. Very, very close play at the plate. Fans thought Lockridge got his hand in there on the bag before the tag, but apparently he is called out. Head coach Michael Oros goes and talks to the umpire, trying to clear things up. So the Generals just a couple inches away from taking the lead after the beautiful hit by Dominic Cox. So the next batter up here for Victoria will be the catcher Brady Disher, after Lockridge is called out at home on the very close play at the plate. So Dominic Cox on first after the single. And one out here in the bottom of the 3rd. So first pitch on the way to Disher. That one's going to be fouled back for strike 1. So as I mentioned, just inches away from the Generals taking the lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. as Lockridge was called out at the plate. 0-1 pitch to Disher is going to be in there for strike 2. Fans do not like it as Disher had to hop out of the way. But the umpire is going to say it just tapped that corner. So an 0-2 pitch coming from Morris. As Cox is going to take off for second, and a swing and a miss by Disher, and a tag at second. Cox is going to get down with a stolen base, but Brady Disher is going to go down swinging for his second strikeout of the game. So the shortstop, Yanel Ramos, will be the next batter up here for the Generals, with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Dominic Cox on second after the stolen base. Ramos quickly calls time. Ramos with a strikeout in his first at-bat. First pitch on the way. That one's going to be down and away for ball 1. So Yanel Ramos, the shortstop, is the batter. He has Dominic Cox on second. Cox trying to get a lead here as the pitch to Ramos, a huge swing and a miss to even the count up at 1-1. So 1-1 count here to Yanel Ramos. Pitch on the way from Morris. That one's going to be fouled off into the parking lot for strike 2. So if you're just joining us, Generals just inches away from taking the lead here in the bottom of the third as a close play at the plate between O'Neal Lockridge and the catcher as Lockridge was called out. 1-2 pitch to Ramos, and that one's going to be belted up to the shortstop but thrown over to first for the third out of the inning. So no runs in the bottom of the third inning, and we head to the fourth. We're all knotted up 3-3. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, all knotted up at 3. No runs in the third inning as we head to the fourth. Your stats tonight for starting pitcher Casey Kallick. Kallick has faced 14 batters striking out 6, walking 1, allowing 2 earned runs, and giving up 2 hits on 3 innings pitched. So the first batter up here for the Bombers will be Chase Kemp. Brady Batten on deck, Cy Snediger in the hole. First pitch on the way to Kemp is going to be in there for strike 1. So Chase Kemp walked his first at bat of the game, hitting .205 on the year for Brazos Valley. Pitch is on the way. Kemp's going to send that one into center field, and the center fielder Williams is going to run under it for an easy catch for out number 1. So after Williams catches the fly ball in center field, the next batter up for Brazos Valley will be Brady Batten. 6 hits tonight for Victoria, only 2 for Brazos Valley. But we're all knotted up at 3. First pitch on the way from Calic is going to be outside for ball 1. So Brady Batten got a big hit his first at bat for the Bombers. So the 0-1 pitch, the 1-1 pitch is going to be fouled off to even the count at 1-1. 313 is the batting average for Brady Batten. One pitch coming on the way from Calic. That's going to be a huge swing and a miss. And the count quickly moves to 1-2. So no runners on base here for Brady Batten. 1-2 pitch on the way from Calic is going to be hit up the middle to the second baseman Miller. Beautiful scoop there by Jake Miller, who's been very active tonight for Victoria and has played a very good game in the field. And just like that, 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th. So Cy Snediger, the next batter up for Brazos Valley, as the first pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. So an 0-1 count here to Snediger. That's going to be swung on and belted over to the left fielder, Gutveg. And Gutveg's going to run under it for an easy catch here to end the inning. So no runs in the top half of the 4th. And we're all still knotted up at 3. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. We're all knotted up 3-3. New pitcher in for Brazos Valley will be number 15, Cody Collins. And the first batter that Collins will be facing is the Generals' Kyle Gutvig. So the left fielder, Kyle Gutvig, will be the first batter Cody Collins will face. First pitch on the way from Collins to Gutvig is going to be high and away for ball one. So Kyle Gutvig with a hit and a walk tonight, scoring 2 runs for the Generals. As the 1-0 pitch from Collins is going to be fouled back to even the count up at 1-1. Bombers starting pitcher Trey Morris, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 earned runs on 6 hits given up. As a 1-1 pitch from Collins to Gutvig is going to be high and away for ball 2. So 2-1 count here to Kyle Gutvig. That one is going to be high and away for ball 3. First baseman Thomas Jeffries on deck. Center fielder Michael Williams in the hole. Three-one count to the left fielder Kyle Gutvig. Pitch on the way from Collins. Gutvig's going to send that one into center field, but the center fielder will run under it for a routine fly ball. So Gutvig flies out to center. And next up will be the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, first baseman Jeffries. See the first pitch from Collins. That one's bouncing away for ball 1. Thomas Jeffries tonight. 1 hit, 1 RBI, 1 run and a walk. Hitting .368 on the year for the Generals. As the 1-0 pitch to Jeffries is going to be check swung over to the second baseman, and Jeffries will be thrown out at first for the second out of the inning. So after Jeffries could not get a hold of the ball, the next batter up will be the center fielder Michael Williams. Williams already with an RBI triple tonight for the Generals. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch on the way is going to be outside, missing away. 1-0 count. So Williams, like I mentioned, with an RBI triple and a strikeout tonight for Victoria. As the 1-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. The count quickly evens. So a 1-1 count here to Michael Williams. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be swung up the middle to the shortstop, Sepulveda. Throw across the diamond for the 3rd out of the inning. So a quick 1-2-3 inning here for the Bombers, and we head to the 5th. We're all knotted up 3-3. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 5th inning. The game is all knotted up 3-3. Stats tonight for starting pitcher Casey Kallick. 4 innings pitched, 3 runs giving up on 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. Bennett Einoff will be the first batter up here for Brazos Valley. First pitch on the way from Kallick. It's going to be in there for strike 1. Casey Kallick, hometown is actually right here in Victoria, Texas, as he pitches the 0-1 pitch to Einoff, and it's going to be in there for strike 2. (0-2) pitch on the way to Einoff. Off-speed pitch is going to be popped up in the infield. And Kallick is going to run underneath that. Clear over by the Generals dugout for the first out of the inning. So good hustle there by the pitcher Kallick, running all the way over by the Generals dugout, over by the on-deck circle, making the catch. And up next for Brazos Valley will be Cole Coker. Coker already with a strikeout tonight, as the first pitch from Kallick is going to get over the head of the shortstop Ramos into left field. And Cole Coker, 1 pitch and a single here for Brazos Valley. So after the Cole Coker single, the next batter up for Brazos Valley will be Casey Danley. Danley hitting .313 on the year for Brazos Valley. And he has a runner on first with 1 out. First pitch on the way to Danley. It's going to be fouled back for strike 1. So 0-1 count to Casey Danley. And that one's going to be hit up the middle. Back to Michael Williams, the center fielder. Williams runs back, makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the second out of the inning. So great hustle there by the center fielder, Michael Williams, making the over-the-shoulder catch, clear back by the warning track. And just like that, 2 outs in the inning here for Christian Sepulveda. Two strikeouts tonight already for Christian Sepulveda. And 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. So the fielding continues to thrive tonight for the Generals. Kallick looks over to first, throw over there at the pickoff attempt, and it's not going to work. So the Bombers with the runner on first base, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Christian Sepulveda, the batter. Pitch on the way. There goes Coker to second, and no throw down by Disher. And the Bombers now with the runner on second base. Fans trying to rally behind Casey Kallick here, trying to get out of this inning. One-0 pitch on the way to Sepulveda is going to be hit a blooper into right field, and this might score a run as the runner's going home, and it gets off the glove of Zack Howard. And just like that, the Bombers regain the lead. So a perfectly hit ball there by Christian Sepulveda, right over the head of the first baseman Jeffries, and just short for the right fielder Howard. And the Bombers take a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. So after the Christian Sepulveda RBI single, Zach Iverson will be the next batter up here for Brazos Valley. So the first pitch on the way to Iverson. There goes Sepulveda, the second. No throw down by Disher. And the Bombers move another runner over to second. Big game tonight here in Riverside Stadium as Brazos Valley sits first in the TCL at 16-8. And the Generals in a close second at 15-9. Bombers with a 4-3 lead. As the second pitch to Iverson is going to be outside for ball 2. 6 hits tonight for Victoria, 4 for Brazos Valley. Each team with an error. The 2-0 pitch is going to be in there, foul tipped back by Iverson for strike 1. So Zach Iverson tonight with 2 strikeouts for Brazos Valley. He has a runner on second. 2-1 pitch, and that one's going to be swung on and missed. And the count quickly goes even to 2-2. So an even 2-2 count here to Zach Iverson. Bombers scoring a run here in the top half of the 5th inning. Calic gets the signs from his catcher Disher. Looks over to second base at Sepulveda. The pitch is on the way. It's going to be in there for strike 3 and another strikeout for Casey Calic. But the Bombers score a run here in the top half of the 5th inning to regain the lead 4-3. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, the Bombers regain the lead 4-3 as they score a run in the top half of the 5th. First batter up here for the Victoria Generals will be the right fielder, Zack Howard. So Zack Howard steps in here. First pitch on the way from Collins is going to be hit into the left field gap. And that one is just going to go on the warning track. And Zack Howard is going to scoot over to second with a double here to start the bottom half of the 5th. So Zack Howard, beautiful hit ball into that left field gap between center and left. And is on second base with a quick double. So after the Zack Howard double, the next batter up here for your Victoria Generals will be the second baseman, Jake Miller. Generals not going away without a fight here against the Bombers. Howard on second. Jake Miller, the batter. First pitch on the way to Miller. He's going to be bouncing in the dirt for ball one. Jake Miller already with an RBI single tonight for Victoria, looking to add to that total here with a base hit. One-0 pitch on the way from Collins. That one's going to be inside, and the count's going to move to 2-0. So a 2-1 count here to the Blend Junior College product. Runner on second is Zack Howard. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-0 pitch on the way to Miller. That one's going to be outside. And Jake Miller quickly up 3-0 in the count. A quick mound visit here, as the catcher's going to go out and talk to Cody Collins. Game one of a 2-game series with the Brazos Valley Bombers, as they will be in action tomorrow night here at Riverside Stadium. 7:05 first pitch. Once again, huge series between the Bombers and the Generals here, as the Bombers sit in first place at 16-8, and the Generals sit in second at 15-9. So just one game back is Victoria, as they look to make some progress here to gain that first place spot. 3-0 count here to the second baseman, Jake Miller. Zack Howard on second. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be high and away for ball four. And just like that, the Generals with runners on first and second and nobody out. And the next batter up will be the third baseman, O'Neal Lockridge. So O'Neal Lockridge with already a hit tonight here for Victoria. Runners on first and second, nobody out here for the third baseman, Lockridge. First pitch on the way is going to be fouled off to the right side for strike one. So Zack Howard doubles to start the inning, and Jake Miller draws the walk. And now the batter is O'Neal Lockridge. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Oh, 1 pitch coming on the way from Collins. It's going to be in there for strike two. And O'Neal Lockridge falls behind 0-2. So an 0-2 count here to the third baseman, Lockridge. Pitch coming on the way from Collins. That one's going to be swung over to the third baseman, Adamas. He's going to throw it over to second to get Miller out at second, but Lockridge is going to be on with a single. And now with runners on the corners here, is Victoria cooking something up here in the bottom half of the fifth. So with runners on first and third, the designated hitter, Dominic Cox, will be up to bat. Only one out here in the bottom of the fifth. And a quick mound visit here will ensue to try and figure something out here for Brazos Valley, as the Generals have runners on the corners and only one out here in the bottom of the fifth. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here very quickly with Victoria Generals Baseball. So back here in Victoria, Dominic Cox, the batter, up here for the Generals. Runners on first and third. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch on the way to Cox is going to be down and away for ball one. So Dominic Cox already with a hit tonight here for the Generals. As the 1-0 pitch comes on the way, and that one's going to be hit straight to the shortstop, Sepulveda, and the throw over to first for the double play. So O'Neal Lockridge is thrown out at first after he thought the ball was going over the shortstop, Sepulveda's head. And no runs in the bottom half of the fifth for Victoria. We head to the sixth inning. Bombers lead the Generals 4-3. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals baseball. So back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the sixth inning. Bombers lead the Generals 4-3. Casey Callick still on the mound here for Victoria. And the first batter up for the Brazos Valley Bombers will be Robin Adamas. Callick tonight with 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, 4 hits given up on 3 earned runs. First pitch on the way to Adamas is going to be popped up in the infield. And it's going to be run under by the third baseman Lockridge for the first out of the inning. So a 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Victoria Generals. Next batter up here for the Brazos Valley Bombers will be Chase Kemp. Kemp already with a run scored and a walk here for the Bombers. First pitch on the way from Callick is going to be outside for ball 1. So a 1-0 count here to Chase Kemp. That one's going to be swung up the middle to Ramos. Throw across to first is going to be in time for the second out of the inning. So quickly, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And the designated hitter, Brady Batten, will be the next batter up here with 2 outs. So a quick inning so far for starting pitcher Casey Callick. As a designated hitter, Brady Batten already with a hit and a run tonight, as the first pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. Cole Wazinski last night for the Generals threw a 3-pitch inning against Texarkana. as the 0-1 pitch from Calic is going to be fouled off to the right side. All three of the Texarkana batters that Wazinski faced in the inning swung at the first pitch, and they were all fielded fantastically by the Generals fielding. So a quick 0-2 pitch here to Batten, and off-speed pitch is going to be outside for ball one. So a 1-2 pitch on the way from Calic to Batten is going to be hit over to the right side, but it's just going to hook foul. And Batten stays alive here in the at-bat. .73 pitches tonight by Calic, and that one is going to be in there. A beautiful off-speed pitch for strike three. So we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. No runs by the Bombers, and the Bombers lead 4-3 over the Generals. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Bombers lead the Generals 4-3. First batter up here for Victoria will be the catcher, Brady Disher, as he looks to get something started here in this inning for Victoria. So Brady Disher with 2 strikeouts tonight for the Generals. First pitch on the way is going to be outside for ball one. So Cody Collins tonight for the Bombers with a walk and a hit given up. Second pitch on the way from Collins is going to be outside. And Brady Disher quickly up 2-0 on Cody Collins. So the 2-0 pitch coming from Collins to Disher. That one's going to be outside, and Brady Disher quickly moves up 3-0. Yanel Ramos on deck, and then Kyle Gutveg in the hole. .30 pitch on the way is going to be in there for strike one. Just hitting that inside corner. So 3-1 here to the catcher Disher. That's going to be outside, and Brady Disher is going to draw the walk to start the bottom half of the sixth. So after the Disher walk, the shortstop Yanel Ramos will be the batter up. As it looks like we will have a pitch runner for Disher on first. Parker Osborne will be the pinch runner for Brady Disher at first, as Yanel Ramos steps up to bat. So the first pitch on the way to Ramos is gonna bunt it down the right field line, and it's just gonna move foul for the first strike. So a nice bunt attempt there by the shortstop Ramos, but it just hooked at that last second across that foul pole, or excuse me, that foul line. So Parker Osborne on first after the Brady Disher walk. Ramos the batter. Ramos looking to bunt again, and that one is going to be a missed bunt attempt for strike two. Back to the top of the order, Kyle Gutvig on deck, Thomas Jeffries in the hole. So 0-2 pitch coming from Cody Collins. Throw over to first is going to be an attempt to pick off Osborne at first. So 0-2 pitch on the way from Collins to Ramos, and that one's going to get past the catcher, and Parker Osborne's going to hustle down to second base for a stolen bag. So the pinch runner, Parker Osborne, stealing to second. And the count moves to 1-2 here on the shortstop Ramos. One-two pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled back into the netting. And Ramos staying alive here in the at-bat. Yanel Ramos tonight with a strikeout for the Generals. As the 1-2 pitch on the way is going to be outside to even the count up at 2-2. So a runner on second with nobody out here. Yanel Ramos the batter, the shortstop. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way is going to be bouncing in the dirt. Nice scoop there by the Bombers catcher. And the count is going to move to a full 3-2 count. So the shortstop Ramos here looking to make something happen for the Generals. Cody Collins gets the sign from his catcher. Looks over to second. 3-2 pitch on the way. Ramos is going to take a huge swing and a miss for a strikeout. His second of the game. So Yanel Ramos strikes out. And it looks like we will have a pitching change here for the Brazos Valley Bombers. So one out here in the bottom of the sixth. Generals with a runner on second base. And we will see a new pitcher for the Bombers. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. So back here in Victoria after the pitching change, Bradley Griggs will be the new pitcher in for the Bombers. Cody Collins' night is over. 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and 1 hit given up. So with a runner on second base and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the first batter up will be Kyle Gutvig. So runner on second here for Gutvig. Parker Osborne, the runner. The pinch runner on after Brady Disher drew the walk in his first at bat of the inning. First pitch on the way to Gutvig is going to be in there for strike 1. Kyle Gutvig tonight, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 runs scored. Oh, 1 pitch on the way from Griggs, and that one's going to be just missing for the first ball. One pitch coming to Gutvig. And that one's going to be fouled off to the left side. The count quickly moves to 1-2. Thomas Jeffries, the first baseman, on deck. Michael Williams, the center fielder, in the hole. One-two pitch coming to Gutvig from Griggs is going to be just away for ball number 2. That one was really close. The count moves to even 2-2. 2-2 pitch coming. That one's going to be outside, and Kyle Gutvig with a full 3-2 count here with a runner on second. So once again, that's Parker Osborne, the pinch runner, on second. 3-2 pitch from Griggs, and that's going to be in there for ball 4. And Kyle Gutvig is going to draw the walk. So Kyle Gutvig draws the walk. And the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries, will be the next batter up here for Victoria with runners on first and second. So Thomas Jeffries tonight with a walk and a hit and an RBI. Has runners on first and second with 1 out. As that one from Griggs is going to be bouncing in the dirt for ball 1. Jeffries looking to continue his hot streak leading into last night's game. 1-0 pitch to Jeffries is going to be in there for strike 1. Michael Williams, the center fielder, on deck. Zack Howard, the right fielder, in the hole. Pitch coming on the way. Jeffries is going to send that one into center field, but it's going to be caught by the center fielder for out number 2. So nice hustle there by the Brazos Valley center fielder to catch that ball. And Michael Williams will be the batter up here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Runners still on first and second base for the Generals. Michael Williams with a strikeout, a hit, and an RBI tonight, as the first pitch to Williams is going to be in there for strike 1. Michael Williams hitting .402 on the season for the Generals. Looking to score a runner here. As the pitch is on the way, and that one's going to be outside. to even the count up at 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to the center fielder, Michael Williams. Pitch is on the way from Griggs, and that one's going to be inside to make the count 2-1. So a 2-1 count here to Williams. Osborne on second, as that one's going to be fouled back into the netting for the second strike. Gutvig on first, Osborne on second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Two count here to Williams. That one's going to be swung on and fouled back. Michael Williams staying alive. So a 2-2 count here to the center fielder Williams. Runners on first and second. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be bounced up the middle. Quick play over at first. Williams hustling down, the bad throw by Sepulveda. And just like that, the Generals are going to get a run across to tie the game up at 4. So Michael Williams hustling down the line at first, making it a tough throw for the shortstop Sepulveda. And the bad error there makes it a 4-4 game here at Riverside Stadium. So after the Michael Williams RBI single, the right fielder Zack Howard will be up to bat with runners on the corner. So what a turn of events here at Riverside Stadium, as the first pitch on the way to Howard is going to be in there for ball 1. Got to credit Michael Williams with that hustle, forcing that throw to come way too early there for the shortstop. As the second pitch to Howard is going to be sent into center field, but right into the glove of the center fielder. But not before the Generals tie the game up, making it 4-4 as we head to the 7th inning. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, the Victoria Generals tie the game up in the bottom half of the 6th. And we're all knotted up 4-4 here at Riverside Stadium in Victoria. New catcher in for the Generals. Parker Osborne will replace Brady Disher at catcher. Casey Calick remains on the mound here for the Generals. First batter up here for Brazos Valley will be Cy Snediger. Casey Calick tonight, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk given up, 3 earned runs on 4 hits, and 6 innings pitched. So Snediger steps up to bat, and the first ball is going to be in there. So 1-0 count here to Cy Snediger. Pitch on the way from Calick. That one's going to be hit into right field, and Howard's going to run underneath that for a routine fly ball for the first out of the inning. So Cy Snediger flies out to right, and the next batter up will be Bennett Einoff for the Bombers. No hits tonight in the game for Einoff. First pitch on the way from Calick. It's going to miss on away for ball 1. One-oh pitch on the way to Einoff. That's going to be in there to even the count up at 1-1. One count here to Bennett Einoff. Pitch on the way from Calick. That one's going to be high and away for ball 2. Jeffries at first. Miller at second. Ramos at short. Lockridge at third is your infield. 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be fouled back, and the count's going to move to an even 2-2. Gutveg in left, Williams in center, and Howard in right is your outfield. 2-2 count here to Bennett Einoff. 1 out, the top of the 7th inning. All knotted up at 4. Pitch on the way. That's going to be in there. Just missing. The count's going to go to a full 3-2. So the count sits full at 3 here to Einoff. Pitch on the way. That's going to be in there for another strikeout for Casey Calick. And that'll be the second out of the inning. The 9th strikeout of the night for Casey Calick. And we head to the top half of the order for the Bombers. Cole Coker will be the batter up as the first pitch on the way. It's going to be outside for ball 1. 4 hits tonight for Brazos Valley, 7 for Victoria. 1-0 count comes on the way. It's going to be fouled back into the netting. So as I mentioned, 9 strikeouts tonight for the starting pitcher, Casey Calick. 1 walk given up on 4 hits. 1-1 count here to Coker. That one's going to be bouncing in the dirt, and the count's going to move to 2-1. So a 2-1 count coming. Pitch on the way from Calick. Another outside pitch, and it's going to be a 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Pitch on the way to Coker, and that's going to be sent over to the second baseman, Jake Miller. Nice scoop and throw over to first. And no runs in the top half of the 7th for the Bombers. So we go to the bottom half of the inning. Generals and Bombers knotted up at 4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Bombers and Generals tied at 4. New pitcher in for Brazos Valley will be number 3, Jared Biddy. First batter he will face for the Generals will be the second baseman, Jake Miller. So Miller starts off the bottom of the 7th here. Looking to get something rolling here for the Generals to start the inning. Already a big night tonight for Jake Miller with a hit and an RBI. So the first pitch of the game from Biddy to Miller is going to be in there for strike 1. Back and forth game all night here at Riverside Stadium. As a huge one when it comes to the standings. As the second pitch is going to be down and away for ball 1. Game 2 will be tomorrow here at Riverside Stadium. 7:05 first pitch. 1-1 count here to Jake Miller. Miller's going to take a huge swing and a miss at that one. And the count's going to move to 1-2. So 1-2 count here to Jake Miller. Pitch on the way from Biddy. That's going to be hit over to the shortstop, Sepulveda, for the first out of the inning. So a nice snag there by the shortstop, Sepulveda. Jake Miller lines out. Next batter up here for Victoria will be the third baseman, O'Neal Lockridge. First pitch on the way to Lockridge is going to be in there for strike 1. One hit tonight in the game for O'Neal Lockridge. Second pitch is going to be checked, swung for second strike of the at-bat. So O'Neal Lockridge quickly falls behind 0-2. Dominic Cox, the designated hitter, on deck. Parker Osborne in the hole. Lockridge is going to quickly call timeout here, as he has an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way from Biddy to Lockridge. Off-speed pitch is going to miss for ball one. So a 1-2 count here to Lockridge. Jared Biddy, the pitcher for the Bombers, as the fastball is going to be in there right over to the third baseman, Adames, for out number 2. So after the ground out by O'Neal Lockridge, the designated hitter Dominic Cox will step up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch on the way to Cox is going to miss away for ball one. Dominic Cox already with a double tonight for the Generals. 1-0 pitch coming from Biddy, and that one's going to miss again. And the count moves to 2-0. Generals looking to get some offense rolling here as we're moving closer to crunch time. 2-0 pitch on the way from Biddy to Cox, and that's going to be swung on and missed for strike one. So a 2-1 count here to the designated hitter Dominic Cox. 2-1 pitch, off-speed pitch. It's going to be check swung, for strike two. Parker Osborne on deck. Yanel Ramos in the hole. 2-2 pitch is going to be swung on and missed by Cox. And a play at first and a bad throw by the catcher. And Cox is going to scoot down to second. And another bad throw by the right fielder. And Cox is going to go all the way around to home on a bad throw by the right fielder. And just like that, the Victoria Generals take a 5-4 lead after a absolutely wild turn of events here in the game. So Dominic Cox goes down swinging for strike three, but the ball was dropped by the catcher. Ball goes into right field. Right fielder tries to make a throw to second to get Cox out, goes over the second baseman's head, and Cox goes all the way around for another run. So the next batter up here for the Generals will be the catcher Parker Osborne, after the Generals regain the lead on a wild play, as the first pitch to Osborne's going to be hit up the middle for a hit, and the catcher Parker Osborne is going to be on with a single. So the two kids from Rice coming up huge here for the Generals with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And the next batter up will be the shortstop Yanel Ramos. So Osborne on first with 2 outs here. Yanel Ramos, the shortstop, is up to bat. As the first pitch, Ramos is going to foul that back. Ramos already with 2 strikeouts tonight. So 0-1 count here to Ramos. Generals regain the lead 5-4. As that one's going to be outside for ball one. So just heads up base running by Dominic Cox after striking out. Making sure he hustles down to first. And a couple of bad throws later, he's rounding third, going home. And the Generals take the lead. As the pitch is going to be on the way, Osborne's going to steal down to second. He's going to get in there safe. So the catcher, Parker Osborne, with the stolen bag. And Ramos falls behind 1-2 in the count. So 1-2 count here to the shortstop, Ramos. Parker Osborne on second. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be inside and a bad pitch. And Parker Osborne is going to scoot down to third. So the Generals a base hit away here from getting some cushion. As Parker Osborne moves to third on the Jared Biddy wild pitch. Two count here to the shortstop, Ramos. Big at bat. Trying to get something started here for Ramos as he's been cold all night. Biddy looks and gets the sign. 2-2 pitch on the way. That's going to be fouled back to stay alive. Kyle Gutveg on deck. Thomas Jeffries in the hole for the Generals. Who would have thought a strike three dropped pitch by the catcher would be the way the Generals regain the lead. 2-2 pitch to Ramos. That's going to be fouled off to the right side. And Ramos staying alive. Gotta be a frustrating way to lose your lead if you're the Bombers after two badly thrown throws by the catcher and the right fielder. 2-2 pitch coming to Ramos. That one's going to be outside. And the count's going to go to a full 3-2. So Jared Biddy looking to strike Ramos out here and get out of this inning. Ramos is going to call a quick time here. Huge at bat here for the shortstop, as the Generals would love to get some cushion with this 5-4 lead. 3-2 pitch on the way, and that's going to be swung on and missed, and Ramos is going to strike out for the third time tonight. But an absolutely crazy play gives the Generals a 5-4 lead heading into the 8th inning. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 8th. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4 after an absolutely wild bottom of the 7th inning. And the first batter up here for the Bombers will be Casey Danley. Casey Callick still on the mound here for the Generals. 9 strikeouts tonight for the Victoria kid, as the first pitch is going to be in there for ball 1. So 1-0 count here to Danley. Pitch on the way is going to be hit up the middle, right to Callick's glove. And a throw over to first for the first out of the inning. So after the Danley ground out, the next batter up for the Bombers is going to be Christian Sepulveda. First pitch on the way from Callick to Sepulveda. Off-speed pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. A beautifully thrown ball. Sepulveda already with 2 strikeouts tonight and a hit, as that one's going to be fouled back. Just like that, Casey Callick up 2-0 in the count. So 0-2 count here to Christian Sepulveda. Pitch on the way from Callick. An off-speed pitch just high for ball 1, and the fans do not like it, as that one was really, really close. 1-2 count here. Sepulveda swung on and missed. And the 10th strikeout of the night for the righty Casey Callick. Ten strikeouts tonight for Casey Callick, continuing to wheel and deal here for the Victoria Generals, as Zack Iverson will be the next batter up for the Bombers. First pitch to Iverson, that's going to be sent into right field. Howard's going to run under it for the third out of the inning. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Generals, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back here with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. And the first batter up here for Victoria is going to be the left fielder, Kyle Gutvig. New pitcher in for the Bombers will be number 6, Ben Butler. So Kyle Gutvig will be the first batter up to bat against Ben Butler. First pitch on the way to Gutvig. It's going to be outside for ball 1. So the Bombers got to be frustrated if you're Brazos Valley. Up 4-3 at one point. The Generals climbing back to take the lead as another inside pitch is going to be in there for ball 2. So a 2-0 count here to Kyle Gutvig. Pitch is on the way. That's going to be grounded over to the third baseman, Adamas. Throw across the diamond for the first out of the inning. So the next batter up here for Victoria will be the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries. After Gutvig grounds out. Already an RBI, a hit and a walk tonight for the first baseman. First pitch on the way to Jeffries is going to be outside for ball 1. Generals hold a 5-4 lead over the Bombers on a wild play in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 pitch to Jeffries. Jeffries is going to send that one up to the shortstop, Sepulveda. Close play at first, and Jeffries is going to be thrown out for out number 2. So now up to bat here for Victoria will be the center fielder, Michael Williams. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch on the way to Williams is going to be in there for strike 1. Zack Howard on deck, Jake Miller in the hole. 0-1 pitch coming from Ben Butler. That one's going to be in there for strike 2. And the count quickly moves to 0-2. Michael Williams with 2 hits tonight. RBI and a strikeout. 0-2 pitch coming. That one is just going to miss that outside corner. And the count's going to move to 1-2. Michael Williams, .410 batting average on the season for the Generals. Huge anchor for this team. As a 1-2 is going to be in there for ball number 2 to even the count up. Five to 4, Generals lead the Bombers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As the 2-2 pitch is coming. That's going to be hit into left field. And the left fielder is going to run under that for the 3rd out of the inning. So we head to the top of the 9th. Generals 3 outs away from winning their 3rd straight game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 9th inning. And the Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Casey Calick coming out for the 9th inning here, trying to complete the game and get the win here for Victoria. 10 strikeouts tonight for Calick on 1 walk, on 4 hits given up. And the first batter he'll face in the top of the 9th will be Robin Adames. First pitch coming from Calick. That's going to be hit into center field. Williams is going to run under that one for the first out of the inning. So Adames got a hold of that ball, but Williams runs under it for a routine fly ball. So 1 out here in the top half of the 9th. Next batter up here for the Bombers will be Casey Danley. Or excuse me, Chase Kemp, as the first pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. One 0 count here to Chase Kemp. That's going to be fouled over to the right side. The count's going to even at 1-1. So once again, Casey Calick trying to go for the complete game. 32 batters faced, 10 strikeouts. Very good outing tonight for the righty from Victoria. 1-1 pitch on the way to Kemp. That's going to be outside. The count's going to move to 2-1. Can never count the Bombers out though, as the Generals actually held a lead a couple games ago against the Bombers in the 9th inning. The Bombers ended up winning the game, as that one's going to be fouled back for strike 2. Casey Calick 1 strike away. It's been a hard-fought game tonight by both teams, as a 2-2 pitch coming from Calick. Off-speed pitch is just going to miss. And the count's going to move to 3-2. Casey Calick with over 100 pitches tonight, as he has a 3-2 count. Pitch on the way, a check swing, and that's going to be another strikeout for Casey Calick. His 11th of the game for the 2nd out of the 9th. So the Generals 1 out away here from winning their 3rd straight game. And with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th, the designated hitter Brady Batten will be the batter up. First pitch on the way from Calick, and that's going to be lined out into right field. Howard's going to have to hustle for it, and it's going to get down, and Batten is going to scoot around for a double. So Brazos Valley not going away here, as Brady Batten sends one into right field and gets a double here for the Bombers. So Cy Snediger will be the next batter up. Looks like we're going to have a mound visit here between head coach Michael Oros and pitcher Casey Calick to try and figure something out here, as the Bombers with a runner on second, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. We're going to step aside very quickly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. So 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Runner on second base for the Bombers. First pitch from Calic is going to be in there for ball 1. So Brady Batten keeping the Bombers alive with a double in his last at-bat. And the pinch hitter Dylan Bonner looking to tie the game up. As the runner's going to go to third base with no hesitation. And just like that, the Bombers with a runner on third base after the stolen bag. And Dylan Bonner with a 2-0 count on him and a runner on third. Casey Calic looking to finish the game strong here. As the third pitch is going to be outside for ball 3. And Casey Calic falls behind 3-0 to Dylan Bonner. So a huge situation here for the Generals with that runner on third base and 2 outs in the top of the 9th. As the pitch is going to be in there, and it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Dylan Bonner by Casey Calic. And things just got interesting here in Victoria. Bennett Einoff will be the next batter up for the Bombers with runners on the corners. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Generals with a 5-4 lead. Head coach Michael Oros of the Generals is going to keep Calic in the game. First pitch on the way to Einoff. That's going to be in there for strike 1. Casey Calic, only his second walk of the night, was that last at-bat there to Dylan Bonner. Second pitch from Calic to Einoff. The runner is going to take off for second, and a check swing is going to be strike 2. And Bennett Einoff falls behind 0-2 here to Casey Calic. Fans are getting loud here at Riverside Stadium as they try and help Calic get this third out. 0-2 pitch coming to Einoff, and an outside pitch, and it's going to get back to Osborne, but the Bombers are going to score a run on the bad throw by Casey Calic, and we have a tied ball game here in the top of the 9th. The runner advances to third, and now the Bombers with a runner on third here in the top of the 9th inning. What a turn of events once again. Crazy game here at Riverside. As a 1-2 count here to Bennett Einoff. Pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch is just going to miss to make the count 2-2. Both teams fighting hard tonight, trying to get this victory. As the 2-2 pitch from Calic, that's going to be in there for strike 3, and Einoff is going to go down. But not before Brazos Valley gets another run on the board to tie the game up here in the top of the 9th. So we go to the bottom half of the inning. Bombers and Generals tied up at 5. Great game here at Riverside Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the 9th inning as the Bombers tied the game up in the top half of the 9th. And the first batter up here for Victoria will be the right fielder, Zack Howard. So just an absolutely wild game tonight between the Bombers and the Generals. And the Generals having to play the bottom half of the 9th after having two outs and 2 strikes as the first pitch goes into Howard for ball 1. 2 outs and 2 strikes to the batter, Bennett Einoff, but a wild pitch allowed the Bombers to score a run, tying the game up. 1-0 pitch on the way to Howard. That one's going to be down and away for ball 2. Easily the 2 best teams in the TCL this season battling it off once again, and a great series here as a third pitch is going to be in there for ball 3. So 3-0 count here to the right fielder, Zack Howard. And the third baseman, Adamas, is going to go over and try and talk to his pitcher, Ben Butler. 3-0 count here to the power hitter, Zack Howard. 3-0 pitch on the way. That's going to be right down the middle for strike 1. Three-one count here to the right fielder, Howard. Pitch is on the way. That's going to be in there for strike 2. Fans do not like that call. And the count's going to go to a full 3-2 count. Three-two count on the way from Butler to Howard, and that's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3 and out number 1. So Zack Howard goes down swinging, and the next batter up here for Victoria will be the second baseman, Jake Miller. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th as the first pitch to Miller is going to be in there for ball 1. First strikeout of the game for Ben Butler as he throws this one into Miller. That's going to be in there for strike 1, and the count's going to even to 1-1. So Neil Lockridge on deck. Designated hitter Dominic Cox in the hole. 1-1 pitch. Miller's going to take a huge swing and a miss at that one, and the count's going to move to 1-2. Generals getting a fresh arm rolling in the bullpen as they're looking to possibly keep the Bombers off the board if they have to go to extras. 1-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled off to the right side. Jake Miller staying alive here on Ben Butler. So as I mentioned, the Generals were 1 strike away from walking out of here with a win, but a bad pitch allowed the Bombers to get a run home to tie the game in the top of the 9th. 1-2 to Miller. Miller's going to foul that one back into the netting to stay alive. Approaching 3 hours on this game, as it's been a good one here between the Bombers and the Generals. Pitch on the way. That's going to be bouncing in the dirt, and the count's going to even to 2-2. So an even 2-2 count here to Jake Miller. Lockridge on deck. Cox in the hole. Quick timeout here by the Bombers. Try and figure something out. 5-5 game here in the bottom of the ninth inning. 2-2 count to the second baseman, Jake Miller. Pitch on the way. That's going to be swung on and missed. For strike 3, Miller's going to rush down to first. But Jake Miller is going to go down swinging for out number 2. So the next batter up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth will be the third baseman, O'Neal Lockridge. His first pitch on the way to Lockridge is going to be in there for ball 1. One-0 pitch on the way to Lockridge. Lockridge is going to send that one up the middle for a single. And the Generals have a base runner here in the bottom of the ninth. So O'Neal Lockridge gets a single with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth inning. And the next batter up here for the Generals will be Dominic Cox. So 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. Runner on first base for the designated hitter, Dominic Cox. First pitch on the way, a huge swing and a miss for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on the way from Butler. An off-speed pitch is going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. Catcher Parker Osborne on deck. Kyle Gutveg in the hole. Oh, 2 pitch on the way is going to be outside for ball 1. So 1-2 count here to Dominic Cox. Pitch on the way. It's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3. And we're going to extras here at Riverside Stadium. All tied up 5-5. We head to the 10th. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 10th inning as the Bombers and the Generals all knotted up at 5. Casey Callick's night is finished for the Generals, and the relief pitcher will be number 26, Matthew Swick. Good night pitching tonight for Casey Callick. 12 strikeouts for the right-hander on 4 earned runs and only 2 walks on 5 hits given up. So Matthew Swick, the new pitcher, in. First pitch on the way from Swick is going to be outside for ball 1. Second pitch on the way is going to be high and away for ball 2. Cole Coker, the batter for the Brazos Valley Bombers. 2-0 pitch on the way. That's going to be outside for ball 3. Three-0 pitch on the way from Swick, and a 4-pitch walk here to start the 10th inning as Cole Coker walks down to first. So a 4-pitch walk for Matthew Swick. And the next batter up here for the Bombers will be Casey Danley with a runner on first and no.
Second baseman, Zack Iverson.
2-1 count here to Zach Iverson. He's going to pop this one up to the infield. Lockridge is going to run under it for the 3rd out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 11th, or excuse me, the bottom of the 10th inning. Bombers and Generals knotted up at 5. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the 10th inning as the Generals and the Bombers knotted up 5-5. First batter up here for the Generals will be the catcher Parker Osborne, as he looks to get on the board here for the Generals. First pitch on the way to Osborne is going to be in there for ball one. Osborne with a hit tonight for the Generals. Second pitch on the way is going to be high and away for ball two. New pitcher in for Brazos Valley is number 29, Hunter Reeves. As the pitch from Reeves to Osborne is going to be in there for ball three. Parker Osborne quickly up 3-0. Yanel Ramos on deck, Kyle Gutveg in the hole. As a 3-0 pitch is going to be inside for ball four, and a 4-pitch walk for the catcher Parker Osborne. So after the 4-pitch walk by Parker Osborne, a pinch hitter will come in for Yanel Ramos, and it will be number 2, Trent Brown. So the first pitch is not going to go in. It's going to go over for a pickoff attempt. First pitch on the way to Brown is going to be a bunt over to the right side, but it's going to go bouncing foul for strike one. So Trent Brown pinch hitting here for Yanel Ramos. And a quick mound visit here between the Bombers infielders. Runner on first here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Nobody out. Trent Brown the batter. Kyle Gutveg on deck. A 0-1 pitch on the way to Brown. That's going to be a bunt right up the middle. Brown's going to hustle down the first. Sacrifice squeeze there by Trent Brown is going to move the runner over to second for the first out of the inning. So a heads-up play there by the pinch hitter Trent Brown to get the bunt down and move Parker Osborne over to second base. And the next batter up here will be the left fielder Kyle Gutveg. So one out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Pinch hitter in for Kyle Gutveg be Nick Barnes. We'll be seeing his first action of the game to try and get something going here for the Generals in the bottom of the 10th inning. So Nick Barnes, pinch hitter, on for Kyle Gutveg. First pitch on the way to Barnes. It's going to be outside for ball one. Hunter Reeves tonight with a walk. As the second pitch to Barnes from Reeves is going to be in there for strike one. One out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Parker Osborne on second. Nick Barnes, the designated hitter here for Kyle Gutveg. 1-1 pitch on the way. That's going to be outside for ball two. So 2-1 count here to Nick Barnes. Runner on second base. Pitch on the way to Barnes. An off-speed pitch is going to be in there. And it's going to miss, and the count's going to move to 3-1. So a 3-1 count here to Nick Barnes with a runner on second. Pitch on the way from Reeves to Barnes. That's going to be fouled back for strike 2. So a full 3-2 count here to the pinch hitter, Nick Barnes. Runner on second with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th. Thomas Jeffries on deck. Pitch on the way to Barnes. Osborne's going to take off for third. And the throw is not even going to happen as Parker Osborne steals down to third. And Nick Barnes also draws the walk. So just like that, runners on first and third here for the Generals with only 1 out in the bottom of the 10th. So with runners on first and third for the Generals, Thomas Jeffries will be the next batter up. And looks like we could be seeing a pitching change here for the Bombers. We're going to step aside here for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. So after the quick mound visit by the Bombers, the first baseman Thomas Jeffries will try to be the hero here for the Generals. Runners on first and third with only 1 out in the bottom of the 10th. First pitch on the way to Jeffries. It's going to be in there for strike 1. Fans getting a little feisty here at Riverside Stadium. Not liking the call there. Thomas Jeffries falls behind 0-1. Runners on first and third. 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th. Second pitch on the way to Jeffries is going to be fouled back to the left side for strike 2. So 0-2 here to the first baseman, Jeffries. Michael Williams on deck. 0-2 pitch on the way. There goes the runner. That's going to be hit over the left side. Just foul. Folks here at the Riverside Stadium thought that was going to end the game. But just hooking left over that foul ball line. And the count remains 0-2. Nick Barnes on first, Parker Osborne on third. Thomas Jeffries the batter, 0-2 pitch. It's going to be in there for ball 1, and Barnes is going to steal down to second. So good hustle there by Barnes to get down to second. And the count sits at 1-2. Jeffries already with an RBI tonight. Looking to add to that total. One-two pitch on the way to Jeffries. It's going to be bouncing away to make the count 2-2. 2-2 count here to Thomas Jeffries. Runners on second and third. Pitch on the way. Jeffries is going to swing at that one. That one's going to go into left field. The runner's going to go over the left fielder's head. And the Victoria Generals are going to walk it off here with a Thomas Jeffries RBI. Jeffries gets sprayed all over with the water cooler. And the Generals take the first game here from the Bombers. So Thomas Jeffries continues to hit the ball incredibly well here for the Victoria Generals. And the Generals win Game 1 6-5 over the Bombers. Wild game here at Riverside Stadium. And Game 2 will be tomorrow night here. Starting pitch of 7:05. Once again, Thomas Jeffries walks it off with an RBI for the Generals. And the Generals defeat the Bombers 6-5.